Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to SMG Viewers Comments, episode 65. Let's get right to it.
Would be really cool for another song with Siegfried. Also release it as a video on its own, but then do a series part by part, how it was recorded and mixed, etc. It would be wicked.
Ask and you shall receive. I've actually got 2 songs coming up with Siegfried in the very near future. I'm going to be doing something with Brandon and TJ and Siegfried. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be a cover song of a very famous 80s song. And then next weekend, I've actually got Jackson Ward and Liam John coming in, and we're going to be doing a cover of a very famous song from the 70s that Siegfried has also agreed to do vocals on. Yes, I will be documenting everything. I think that's a really good idea. Just kind of show the tracking, how we did it, how we got the guitar sounds, how we got the drum sounds, all that. And then a mix breakdown after the video is done. For those of you guys who don't know who the hell Siegfried is, check the link in the description below for our version of Moon on the Water. It just cracked 100,000 views. It was a cover from an anime, actually, and our vocalist, Siegfried's song, all the way from Korea, knocked it out of the fucking park.
Please bite the bullet and make a fearless review on Superior 2.0.
Okay, you know what? I think I might do that at some point. So let me just get something straight, okay? I don't really have a problem with the drum samples in Superior 2.0. I think they're excellent recordings. I think they're excellent samples. My problem is everybody's fucking using them. There's no fucking individuality anymore. Nobody's learning how to record drummers anymore. We're not hearing drummers on records anymore. We're hearing R2 fucking D2 on drums. We're hearing Robbie the fucking Robot on drums. We're not hearing drummers anymore. I want to hear drummers. I want to hear, I want to hear those fucking little mistakes. I want to hear, where's the fucking next John Bonham? I want to hear that. And like I said, I'm not shitting on them as engineers. Like I said, the Superior guys are great. Stephen Slate's done a great set of samples as well. Fucking magnificent. And I still want to try out Drum Forge. That's on my to-do list. I'm not ragging on the samples themselves. I'm ragging on you guys for getting fucking lazy and not recording drums.
I think a segment on budget versus high-end gear would benefit a lot of people. For those that don't know why there's a huge price difference from something like a Behringer interface versus RME or Art versus Avalon preamps, I would have loved more stuff like that with quality audio when I finally jumped in to start getting better gear. I had no clue what I was missing in my mixes with some things.
Great idea. Yeah, that's kind of on the list as well. Thank you so much for the suggestion. I'm going to start that with a preamp shootout, I think, on heavy guitars. Well, I've got some cheap preamps. I've got some very expensive preamps. And yeah, we'll put it to the test. We'll do a blind test and just see what everybody thinks. Careful what you say about the Behringer stuff, though. I remember a lot of the guys on Gear Sluts getting fucking fooled pretty well by the lowly Behringer ADA8000. That they put that up against some very expensive converters, and a lot of people wound up picking the Behringer. So, go figure.
Any tips about tennis elbow, pills, or patience and exercise?
Tennis elbow? Really? Okay. First things first. Stop whacking into so much fucking hentai, you pervert. Meanwhile, though, if you are playing your guitar and it's hurting you, stop. Seriously, go see a doctor and get professional advice. I am not a physiotherapist, but I would recommend going to see a doctor and seeing what they have to say, because chances are they're going to say to take a break as well. If you've got something inflamed, that probably means you should stop whatever the fuck you're doing and let it heal. But then again, don't take chances with your body. Go see a professional and knock off that fucking hentai.
What about Quebec French metal bands? So many of them.
Oh, hell yeah. That's the thing. I mean, like in that episode I did a few weeks back, I was asking about French bands. I was talking about bands from France, actually. And apparently Gojira is a French band. I'd like to thank all 80,000 of you people who let me know that. Really appreciate that. But Quebec Metal is kind of its own thing. And yeah, I mean, like the Quebec Metal scene is fucking legendary. So many fucking cool bands. One of my personal favorites has to be Voivod. I had the very distinct pleasure of being invited on their tour bus back in the early 90s, and I got to sit with Piggy and talk to him about guitars all night, and I'll never forget that. Just a great dude, and it's such a shame he's no longer with us. For those of you guys who don't know who Voivod is, please run, don't walk, and go check out the Dimension Hatros album or Nothing Face. They were absolutely groundbreaking for their time. Nothing Face was a little more avant-garde, but it was heavy as fuck, and Voivod was just a brilliant band. And yes, I am still very much a fan of that group.
I've tried adjusting the strap on my bass, but I don't seem to be getting any better. What the fuck is a 4 count?
That has to be one of the best quotes from a bass player I have ever heard. That was amazing. Dude, you get your own t-shirt for that. Next, please.
I'm sorry, could someone explain me the reason to buy expensive racks instead of using free or not expensive EQ VST plugins?
Quite simply because I'm not sure if the emulations are quite there yet. I mean, believe me, there is a big difference when you're using a real EQ versus a plugin, and even more so when you're using compressors. I track my voiceover with the compressor live. Right here, I've got my distressor going. You guys always see the levels go into the fucking red whenever I fucking lose it in here, but I've just noticed, software compressors are nice, but nothing beats the real thing still to this point. I've tried turning off the distressor and adding a software compressor after the fact, and it still doesn't quite have the same impact as the real thing. And the IGS EQ is kind of the same idea. A software EQ is very nice, but a real hardware one, and getting your hands and getting that tactile feedback still is a great way to work. And I recommend you guys at least get one decent hardware compressor and one hardware EQ in your arsenal at some point in your career. You'll definitely thank me for it. But you've got to ask yourself at the end of the day, what do you want to do? Do you want to watch porn, or do you want to have sex with a real girl?
How does AutoTune remove emotion?
And well, this gets my vote for the dumbest comment of the year. Okay, let me explain it to you. When we use AutoTune, merely mediocre performances become passable. That's the big problem there. We're not pushing the musician. There's no release. There's no tension there. You don't hear the anger in the voice. You don't hear the agony in the voice. It's kind of like, yeah, close enough, we'll fix it. And, they said it the best, I think, in the movie Whiplash. It's like the two most dangerous words in the English language are good job. Because when you don't push musicians, greatness doesn't happen. AutoTune removes emotion the same way time-aligning drums can remove the feel of a performance, because you're taking something and making it phony. You're making it fake. It's not real. It's not genuine. It's bullshit. And quite frankly, I don't think we should be listening to bullshit.
What about making a clever text for musicians video just for the fun?
Yeah, and when I actually get some clever text for musicians, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Whether or not that's ever going to happen in the next 1,000 years remains to be seen.
Hello, Glenn. Might not be a music-related question, but is Windsor a good city to live in?
Oh my God, that was the hardest fucking thing to say that with a straight face, man. Holy shit, is Windsor a good city to live in? I don't know. Is the Catholic Church interested in justice for all the children that they've raped? Do you like the idea of, a subharmonic hum emanating from across the river, shaking everything in your house at the oddest fucking times of the day? It's called the Windsor Hump. Look it up. It's a real thing. Do you like the idea of smelling a steel mill mixed with sewage? Because that's what Zug Island in Detroit is, and that comes wafting over. Do you like the idea of one wrong move at the Fermi nuclear plant and we're going to lose the whole fucking city, because guess which way the winds blow? You got it, towards Windsor. We do have a couple things in this city that are kind of cool. We've got some of the best pizza in the world, oddly enough, and we don't have any traffic issues. Well, not anything of any consequence anyway. You spend a few days driving around Toronto or LA, and you realize, okay, that does kind of suck. Whereas Windsor, you can get around town and not have to worry about constant traffic jams. That's a big plus. But the transit system sucks. There's just not a lot of opportunity for young people in this town. Unfortunately, there's not a lot in terms of jobs in this town for young people. So a lot of people wind up leaving. Windsor, it's the place where dreams come to die.
Hey man, can you talk about the Jason Becker new album?
Yeah, Jason Becker, for those of you guys who don't know, Jason Becker was a shred guitar player back in the 80s who contracted ALS just as he finished doing his first album with the David Lee Roth Band. And I remember this vividly, actually, being back in college and watching the new David Lee Roth video and going, where's Jason Becker? And then you find out that he got sick and he started losing his motor skills and whatnot. And he's been confined to a wheelchair for quite some time now, and he does compositions with his eyes, I believe. ALS is the same disease that Stephen Hawking contracted. And like Stephen Hawking, Jason Becker is an absolute genius, but his discipline is music. And he's got a Kickstarter going on right now to fund his new record. I think you guys should check it out. I'm going to throw a link up to that, because I think that is a really cool project, and I think I want to support that too. I gotta say kudos to Jason Becker for fucking sticking to his guns and doing what he does best. Dude, seriously, crisp salute to you, sir. We wish you the absolute best here.
340. Speaking of mics, I did a speech in my speech class about why you should not cup a microphone. It was fucking great because there was a singer for a shitty local metalcore band in the class that cups his mic thinking it makes him sound better. I could tell by his body language that he was seething with anger and hatred towards me. I savored every second of giving that speech.
Dude, good for you. You know what? Why don't you contact me via email? I'm going to send you a free Stop Cupping the Mic Dumbass t-shirt because I think that's fucking amazing. And if you could make sure that singer sees this video because I'm going to say, you're a fucking retard! Hold your fucking microphone correctly! Just for clarification! Let's get this 100% clear. I'm not putting down the mentally challenged. No. I'm only calling the people I'm calling retards are the retards who complain about me using the word retard. Seriously, fuck you.
A guy gets wrongfully imprisoned for manslaughter in a foreign country, writes a song about his guilt and fear. The song's title is his cell's number. Doesn't get a Grammy for Best in Metal. A pseudo-metal band manufactures another pop song, gets a Grammy for Best in Metal.
Well, look on the bright side. At least they didn't give it to Jethro Tull this year.
Hey Glenn, what are your thoughts on the Focusrite Scarlet series? Can you get a decent sound with them? Love the channel, by the way.
Thanks so much for asking that. Funny you mentioned that. I was actually talking to the Focusrite guys over the weekend at AES, and I am going to be checking out a Scarlet series very, very soon on this channel. And I might actually be giving that away when I'm done the review. And so you guys will definitely want to sign up for my mailing list so you can get on board for that because it's going to be available just to mailing list subscribers only. Don't worry, it is absolutely free to join and the link is in the description below.
Hi Glenn, I was wondering if you had any experience with adding an attenuator to an audio interface. Is it a good idea? I use a Scarlett 2i2 to record my guitar, but it clips no matter how low I set the gain knob on the interface, and there is no pad. Should I try to find a DIY solution, or is this interface a lost cause?
I'd say maybe try getting a direct box first. That might help. Or yeah, maybe an inline attenuator. Chances are you probably got some really hot pickups. That's something I've never actually dealt with. I used the RME Fireface 800 and actually got a low gain input mode because digital systems do struggle these days because the preamps that we're hooked up to just put out too hot of a signal. So I'm always recording in low gain mode on my RME stuff. You know what? That is a very good question. I think I'm going to investigate that a little bit further, but I would definitely start looking at like maybe a Countryman DI or something like that. You might have a lot better luck getting a softer signal into your Scarlett's direct interface. And they're only about $200 and they will definitely last you a lifetime. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. Thanks so much for watching. I just want to give you guys a little heads up. YouTube has changed the way I would notify subscribers to new content. There is now a little bell button you can hit, and that will make sure you get notifications to new videos on your phone and on your subscription page and that sort of thing. And if you guys could click that, that would go a very long way into helping me make this a full-time job. The more notifications you guys get, obviously the more views you get, and that means more time I can ultimately put into delivering quality content to you. Okay guys, before I go, I just want to say, please sign up for my weekly newsletter. There's going to be all kinds of discounts and pro audio giveaways, including what's in this box from Focusrite. So sign up for that and I'll keep you posted on what's going on there. Meanwhile, I've also got a 48-hour sale going on for this brand new t-shirt design, Make Music Great Again. This is only going to be on sale until this Sunday, so if you'd like to get a copy of it, grab one now because once it's gone forever. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. I'll see you guys next time. Not supposed to say retard.